Hatred is a force as old as humanity itself, woven deeply into the fabric of our history. Its presence can be subtle, a quiet bias, a whispered rumor, or it can erupt with violence, dividing families, communities, and entire nations. Across centuries, hatred has shaped the destinies of empires and the lives of ordinary people, leaving behind scars that often take generations to heal. But what is the true cost of hatred? How do these divisions affect our societies, our future, and even our survival as a species? To understand the real impact of hatred, we must first recognize its many forms. Hatred is not limited to the grand stage of war or political conflict. It can exist in everyday interactions, in the prejudices we inherit, and in the judgments we pass. Racism, religious intolerance, and political polarization are perhaps its most visible manifestations. Each represents a failure to see the humanity in others, a refusal to bridge the gaps that separate us. Racism, for instance, has shaped world history in profound ways. The transatlantic slave trade, segregation, apartheid, these are not merely chapters in textbooks, but living legacies that continue to influence economic opportunity, social mobility, and justice. Hatred based on race has led to the marginalization of entire populations, perpetuating cycles of poverty and disenfranchisement. The cost is not just economic, it is human, measured in lost potential, broken families, and lives cut short. Religious intolerance tells a similar story. From the Crusades to modern-day sectarian violence, millions have suffered because of the belief that only one path to the divine is valid. The cost here is profound. Communities torn apart, ancient monuments destroyed, and cultural heritage erased. But perhaps the greatest loss lies in the missed opportunities for understanding and cooperation. When hatred divides us along religious lines, it prevents us from working together to solve shared challenges, be they poverty, disease, or environmental threats. Political polarization is another powerful force of division. In democracies around the world, opposing ideologies have turned from mere disagreement into outright hostility. Instead of healthy debate, we see echo chambers and entrenched positions, with compromise viewed as weakness. This polarization undermines governance, making it difficult to address critical issues such as climate change, healthcare, and education. The cost here is a paralysis of progress, as societies become gridlocked, unable to adapt to changing circumstances or respond to crises. In the digital age, hatred has found new expression through online platforms. Social media, while powerful in connecting people, can also amplify division. The anonymity of the internet allows hate speech to spread unchecked, fueling misinformation and radicalizing individuals. Online hate is not confined to virtual spaces. It spills over into real-world actions, from bullying and harassment to violence and extremism. The cost is a generational one, as young people grow up in an environment where division is normalized and empathy is eroded. The impact of hatred goes beyond immediate harm. Over time, division corrodes the social fabric, undermining trust and cooperation. When communities are divided, collective action becomes impossible. Public goods, clean air, safe streets, good schools, suffer as people withdraw into their own groups, unwilling to invest in a shared future. Hatred breeds fear, and fear stifles innovation and creativity. Societies that cannot trust one another cannot build, cannot dream, and cannot thrive. On a global scale, the cost of hatred is even more pronounced. Wars driven by ethnic, religious, or political animosity have killed millions and displaced even more. The refugee crises of our time are direct consequences of division, forcing people to flee their homes in search of safety and hope. The economic cost is staggering. Billions spent on conflict instead of development, healing, or education. But the human cost is greater still. Families sundered, children orphaned, and futures destroyed. Hatred does not just divide us from one another, it divides us from ourselves. When we harbor prejudice, we limit our own capacity for compassion, curiosity, and growth. The walls we build to keep others out also keep us in, narrowing our perspectives and denying us the richness of diverse experiences. The cost, then, is both external and internal, a diminished world and a diminished self. Yet, there is another side to this story. Throughout history, individuals and movements have risen to challenge hatred, inspired by the conviction that division is not inevitable. Civil rights leaders have spoken out against racism, faith communities have reached across religious boundaries, and activists have worked to bridge political divides. These efforts remind us that while hatred is powerful, it is not invincible. Healing division requires more than laws or policies. It demands empathy, courage, and sustained effort. It means listening to those we disagree with, seeking understanding before judgment, and recognizing our shared humanity. Education plays a critical role, helping young people see beyond stereotypes and learn the skills of cooperation and dialogue. When communities invest in reconciliation, they unlock new possibilities, forging bonds that are stronger than the forces that once divided them. The cost of hatred, then, is best measured not just in what we lose, but in what we could gain if we chose a different path. Imagine societies where differences are celebrated, where diversity is a source of strength rather than suspicion. Imagine politics informed by reason to debate and compromise, rather than fear and resentment. Imagine a world where online platforms foster genuine connection and understanding, rather than division and hostility. The benefits are clear: healthier communities, more robust economies, and a more peaceful world. As we look to the future, the challenge is urgent. Climate change, pandemics, and technological disruption are global threats that require collective action. Division, whether fueled by hatred or indifference, weakens our ability to respond. Our survival as a species depends not on the triumph of one group over another, but on our capacity to come together, to see ourselves in others, and to act for the common good. In the end, the real cost of hatred is the loss of our potential to learn, to grow, to create, and to build a better world. It is the loss of countless lives, dreams, and opportunities. But it is also a cost we need not pay. By choosing empathy over enmity, cooperation over conflict, and hope over fear, we can write a new chapter in the human story. One defined not by division, but by unity and resilience. The question is not whether hatred will exist. It surely will in some form or another. The question is whether we will allow it to define us, or whether we will rise above it, recognizing that our shared future depends on our ability to overcome the divisions that threaten to unravel the fabric of our society. The choice is ours, and the stakes could not be higher. Subscribe for more deep dive videos on humanity.